It's week 2 of the National Football League, and it's presented by EA Sports. It's the Jets and the Browns. All that and more coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the New York Jets and the Cleveland Browns. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And CD, you look at the Browns in this matchup. Their offense is one that doesn't rely too heavily on just one guy. They like to spread things around as best they can.
You're right about that. It's a diverse unit, and they like to run their offense by what they call game plan, meaning each and every week they study the...
The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. The Browns on their way out now for the first time, and we'll also get a look at the player brought in from Houston to run this offense, and that's Deshaun Watson.
And he comes off a tough opening matchup, threw way too many interceptions in that game. Definitely not the way you want to kick off a new season. So he said to himself, I've got to throw that game out. I'm going to get a fresh start right here in week 2.
They begin this drive with Chubb. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there on the first play from scrimmage. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They run it again with Chubb. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The Browns had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that, because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
A gain of 8 on the keeper and a first down. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over, because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
And Chubb will try the middle here. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Chubb on the counter. And some space here. Past the 20. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 56 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play. It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
Watson going to keep it again.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Deshaun Watson, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Browns are on the board first here this afternoon. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
And they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. And whatever they said appears to have worked. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. We'll get our first look at this New York Jets offense. Really retooled the last couple of seasons. And at the helm under center, 2nd overall pick from 2021 out of BYU, Zach Wilson.
It was an educational rookie season for Zach Wilson, who was drafted to be the eventual face of the Jets as the team worked through a lengthy rebuild. 2,300 yards and 9 touchdowns as a rookie. He did miss some time midseason with an injury, but I really like the work that the Jets have done to put people around him and give him his best opportunity to be not only the face of this franchise, but get him back into perennial playoff contention.
He had to fight that time. Ran through 1 tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Throwing on 2nd down. Wilson. Open man here is Conklin.
Finding space at the 40.
They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. What a luxury to have a tight end that can not only catch it, but then can run after the catch like that.
What was the old expression back in the good old days? And they used to carry pianos on their backs when they were after they caught the football. Someone would stop and bang out a tune along the way as well. But nowadays, these guys are essentially bulked up wide receivers, and they're a full part of the passing game. And we see a lot of big plays, as we just saw there.
That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
On 1st down, right back to Hall.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now Wilson. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets.
Zach Wilson.
His 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Jets are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own.
Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action. Now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kissed it on the ground. The Browns really liked what they saw from Donovan Peoples-Jones in 2021 as he came into his own as a deep threat after nearly 18 yards a catch and getting nearly 600 yards total. They think they've got a long-term starter on the outside, and he picks up a first down here.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
On 2nd down, right back to Hunt.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. 7-7, our score after 1. On to the 2nd from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On 3rd down, here's Hunt. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
A couple of first downs on the drive already as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Not a whole lot there. It looked for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Now an option play on 2nd down.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
And that's on the guard, Wyatt Teller.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Reed. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Handoff, running left. Here's Hall.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Taven Bryan with a nice play defensively.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15.
Wilson. This pass out wide to Hall. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback.
Week 2 underway around the NFL, and a reminder that later tonight it'll be Chicago and Green Bay in the Packers home opener, the 101st season of that great rivalry. They had the 100th anniversary last year. And then tomorrow night a treat, a Monday night doubleheader, Tennessee and Buffalo, 7:15 Eastern, and then Minnesota and Philly kicking off a little over an hour later.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
2nd down, here's an option right. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. 1st down.
So this play, until recently, only something you'd probably expect to see in a college game, but running quarterbacks are certainly in vogue, and this turned into a big play.
And you and I both know that for a long time, coaches worried about their quarterbacks taking too much punishment running plays like this, and they still worry about it. But when you can break up big chunks of yardage like that, it's worth the risk. Plus, you're coaching that quarterback to see those guys coming and get down before the big hit occurs.
A give running right is Chubb.
Down to the 42, 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd down, here's Chubb again.
And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? They'll try to run for the 1st down with Hunt. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
On this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll try the air now with Watson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes a defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
This is the tight end, Njoku. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. 1:55 left to go in the first half of play. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They'll give to Hunt here on the option. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double-team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
Will go down as a gain of 6, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The quick slant caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well.
Well, that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Defense really sold out there to stop the run. Understandable down near the goal line. Now on 2nd down, you have to wonder, might we...
And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
So another touchdown for him on the year now, Charles. He had 2 in the opener last week and hits pay dirt for a 3rd time here.
And with good health, he's got a really good chance to be up there among the leaders in touchdowns scored when this season comes to an end. Quick question, partner. Is it bad luck to toast him with a sports drink?
Not at all, partner. I think that's a fantastic idea. Cheers.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
And the Jets going to go on offense one last time in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down.
They'll set up the screen for Hall.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Now it's Wilson. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And a little floater there is incomplete. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start with a couple of heavyweights in the AFC. The big game of the weekend, New England taking on Pittsburgh. And they are nearing halftime with the Steelers out in front. Chase Claypool, a touchdown reception. From there, we head down to the Sunshine State to check on the Jaguars at home in Jacksonville. And you can see there is the visiting Colts who have the lead in that one. Paris Campbell, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's motor up to the Motor City. See what's happening with the Lions at home at Ford Field.
Sorry, Coach, put a pin in that. We are going to move right on to the third quarter here. Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Jets head out on offense here to start this third quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter three.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. The defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around to find an open target. Sometimes you forget the number one thing, take care of the football.
Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. They've got the ball in a great spot here, already inside the red zone following that fumble recovery. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Quinnen Williams, so hard to block, and he shows it that time, making the tackle for loss.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Second down, here's Chubb again.
And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out. When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on it.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
Chubb is in. Touchdown, Cleveland. So how about this start to a year? Fantasy owners take note. 2 rushing touchdowns in the opener. 2 more here in week 2.
So a nice pickup by 2 entities. 1, this team for making sure they acquired this guy. And 2, anyone who plays fantasy who has him on their team.
York now for the extra point.
It's good, and it is now 21-7. A drive there of just 4 plays. And Nick Chubb, the one to finish it off, as he does so with a touchdown run. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field.
Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
One play has him up past the 40 already and another 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. He finds his man, complete. That's Wilson.
And they're going to get this up to midfield.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From midfield now, here's Wilson to the sideline, and that's well done. Able to drag the feet, he's going to have the first down. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
47 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
And with a guy his size, you have to know defensively that arm tackles aren't going to fly with him. You have to be able to wrap up, or else he can just brush tacklers aside like they're not even there.
Here's Hall again. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Now it's Wilson. Throwing left sideline complete. That's Moore. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
They'll run with Hall.
And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal.
Throwing is Wilson. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets.
Elijah Moore from 4 yards out. And the Jets have cut it back within a score.
A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Zerline good with a PAT. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
taken in at the 3. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. He is hoping to find the end zone for a third time, and we sit now in the third quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
And again, it's Chubb. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on third down.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice, dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
3rd and inches, they just hand it to the big battering ram there. That's football 101, isn't it? That's bread and butter. Turn around, hand it to the big fella, and let him get forward for a first down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
And here's Watson on the keeper.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
A good chunk on the ground, and the keeper 17 yards, first down. Pretty ideal right there. Keep it yourself, get the first down, and get the heck out of bounds.
And knowing him, I believe he's thinking, I can get a few more yards if I just lower my shoulder. But he also hears that second voice in his head, his head coach and probably his agent too, saying, get out of bounds, man, don't do that.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Handoff up the middle, Hunt.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. So both teams trade touchdowns in the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They go up the middle with Chubb. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
And he's going to get this down close to a first at about the Jets' 31. 40 yards rushing for him now to this point.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with a draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass him with a running play.
Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
I think there's a fatigue factor that's kicking in defensively. You know the will is still strong, but I think the offense is starting to bend it just a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's looked that way. We'll see if they can continue this already strong drive.
They'll give to Hunt here on the option. He'll get this down to the 21, just on the edge of the red zone.
I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
On 2nd down, right back to Hunt.
And he's going to get this down close to a first at about the Jets' 16. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been automatic. How about 8 for 8 in the game thus far? They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
A give. This is Chubb. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner, 100 yards or more in a game. Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Kareem Hunt
Taking it in from 7 yards away.
And the Browns have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this 4th quarter. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
And New York set to take the field.
As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back.
And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5.
Now Wilson. And he floated one out there, incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
To the sideline, he's got the catch, and he kept the feet in bounds. Well done.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
You have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and then completions to use the clock.
Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only first down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on second down.
Throwing again on second down. Wilson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Give him 5 on the screenplay, and that'll set up a third down. And it's a rush to the line right now for the Jets. He's got the connection to Moore. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
Wilson and Moore there for a Jets first.
Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
And he'll get this to the 22. So they began the play at the 11, and it's a gain of 11. First down.
He gets it underneath to Hall.
Oh, nice move. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. First down now, but that clock rolling. And this is caught for a touchdown. So hang on now. Things just got a little bit more interesting here in the final minute. Zerline connects on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So there is still time, a little over 50 seconds to go, but this becomes a critical onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
An excellent run of 22 yards on the keeper and also a first down.
I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
And he's going to have a gain of 11 to the 11 before he's brought down. First and 10. They run it again with Chubb. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play.
Now 2nd and 5. Snap will come from the 6.
And Chubb will try the middle here. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this 3rd down.
They'll give to Hunt here on the option.
And he's across for a touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
3rd down and short, and everything well executed. He not only gets the first down, Charles, he gets the touchdown as well.
And you see the defense commit to the run so often in these situations. There's always that little bit of hesitancy, isn't there, partner? Thinking that they may play action you. They took advantage of that hesitancy and found their way into the end zone with a running play.
York on now for the extra point.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And Kareem Hunt, the one to finish it off as he did so with a touchdown run. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. So here's Wilson and the Jets down by 2 touchdowns, 27 seconds to go. It's an extremely tall order in front of them, but they've got the ball with a first down. Now Wilson on first down. It's complete. Lazard. And he's going to pick up a first down here as that clock continues to run.
Wilson. Yeah, he'll find Hall.
And they're going to get this up to midfield. Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for the Browns, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Pittsburgh Steelers come to town. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals.